Hello and welcome back to the A Word and Me. My name is Elana and today's video is all about sensory. So for autism, one of the kind of key signs and almost symptoms of autism is sensory sensitivity. So this video is talking about how I'm sensitive to each of the different senses and how they affect me. My plan is to do kind of a three-part series all about sensory. So this one's all going to be about how sensory sensitivity affects me. Then I'm going to do one about how we can deal with sensory sensitivity, and then about sensory overload. So that's kind of the plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through each of the 5 senses, talking about how they affect me. At the moment it's meant to be the hottest day on record, or at least the hottest day of the year. So it's really hot, and for now the kind of coolest place is in the garden in the shade, which is why it is slightly dark. My kind of plan for today is to just edit away and sit inside because it's the coolest place in the kitchen, and then hopefully I can get loads of editing done. And I'm in quite like a chatty mood, so I think I can hopefully film a good video. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. On a side note, the dog is in the garden with me and the door to the house is shut, so he might be making some features into the video, as you can see. Sense number 1, sight. So sight is something I would say that I'm mildly sensitive to, so it's not the worst, but it's not the least. So things I don't like about sight are flashing lights and bright lights. Sometimes I get these headaches which are really severe and like ibuprofen won't solve, and they're not a migraine style headache. And the way I deal with them is I put on sunglasses and I turn off the light, and that really helps. So I do tend to live in quite a dark environment. My phone screen isn't at all that bright, it's generally on the lowest setting as it can be, and same for my laptop screen, because I just don't like that kind of brightness. But that's how sight affects me. Sense number 2, touch. I would say this is, combined with something else, my most sensitive sense. So the way it really affects me is clothes. I'm really sensitive to how clothes feel on me. I'm very picky about the clothes I wear. One of my favourite kind of clothing to wear is charity shop clothes, because I find at that point they have been worn and washed quite a lot, so they become very soft, so I particularly like them. I like wearing very baggy, loose-fitting clothes. I'm quite funny about jeans. I don't really like things that are tight around my tummy, which is why I really love dungarees, because they're jeans but they kind of fit in towards your waist. I really don't like kind of itchy things like wool, stuff like that. I kind of get this itch that no one really understands, and lace. So in the past I've had bras which have some kind of lace around the cups that touch your skin, and I remember having to go and cut all of that off because I just couldn't deal with it. So that's how I'm very sensitive with kind of clothing. Sense number 3 is taste. Now taste really doesn't affect me at all, to be honest. I do like some foods more than others. I kind of have phases where I just eat the same like 5 meals all the time on rotate until I get bored of one, and then it kind of changes. And I tend to have the same breakfast every day. That's been the case for about a year. At the moment, for the last kind of 6 weeks, it's been strawberries and yogurt, dairy-free yogurt. So yeah, I've just changed from soy yogurt to almond yogurt, so that's been quite a big jump. But I think that kind of rotating of meals and having the same food is more of a thing about routine rather than some kind of sensory towards taste. Sense number 4. This by far is my worst sense, and that is hearing. So hearing I am a nightmare with. The first thing that I'm really sensitive towards is the sound of people eating. Now I think a lot of people are sensitive to people eating and get annoyed, but I would like to say that I'm kind of like on another level. Like, it's been the case where I've had to wear like headphones when eating because it's just so bad. I can't describe the way it makes me feel. It just like makes me want to kind of scream, and it's like something's inside me that just wants to like come out. I really can't put it into words how it feels, but I just, for whatever reason, I cannot deal with it. I have got better at uni. I find because there's a lot more conversation, background noise, I can deal with it, but when it's at home, especially after like a tense day and I'm like more on edge than normal and no one's talking, that is when it really works me up. The second thing is whistling. I really don't like whistling. I can't cope with it, and I do have to tell people politely, can you just not whistle? But the thing is, my dad loves to whistle, so it kind of, we have a bit of a barter whether we get whistling or not. The third thing is, this is really bizarre, but breathing. I am a lot better with this, but for a while I used to get very annoyed by the sound of people's breathing, you know, different kind of breathing styles and patterns, and it used to really make me very uncomfortable, which was kind of a pain because people have to breathe. But like I said, I'm better with this. I think the thing that helps is like background noise, but I'll talk about more of that in a later video. And the other thing is that this is kind of what I'm really sensitive to, is loud noises. I know that I do find things louder than other people do, especially like music. I want it to be turned down, people talking, loads of noise at, like in lunchrooms, when we're out shopping, the music. I do find it a lot harder to deal with that loud volume, and I am often asking people, can you be quiet, can you be quiet, can you be quiet, when actually they're not probably being that loud, but I'm just that more sensitive to it. Sense number 5, the final sense that there is and I'm going to talk about is smell. Now, I don't really have any problems with smell. It really does hardly affect me at all, which I'm quite good about because there's smells all around us. I know my mum, for example, she's autistic, and one thing I've noticed is that I think the smell of the dog actually really stresses her out because she complains about this smell that no one else can smell. So I really do think she is a lot more sensitive to that, whether she realises or not, but that's something I've definitely picked up on. But for me, luckily, I don't have a problem with smell. I am probably more sensitive to smell than like other people are, because that's kind of just a given with autism, but I just don't think it's at a stage where it's like affecting me in life in the way that like sounds do and touch does. I hope you all have a fabulous week and that you found this video engaging and interesting. It would be awesome if you liked it to please give it a like and subscribe to my channel and comment any of your thoughts, positive or negative, I guess, so I can learn how to improve and what went well and what didn't. And I'd love to hear all of your experiences, especially if you're autistic yourself and how it affects you, or even if you're not autistic, what you might be sensitive to. And hope you all have a fantastic week, and it is not this boiling when this video comes out because I am honestly going to melt today. Bye bye.